Thank you for being here on Real Estate in the Lowcountry. Sheri Nixon of Keller Williams Luxury is here. And Sheri, we're going to kind of jump into the nitty gritty of contracts today.
Yes.
And there's a lot to talk about. So let's get started.
Absolutely. There's a lot to talk about. And all states are different. And in fact, on Hilton Head Island and in Bluffton, there is a state contract. Although here we mainly use the Hilton Head Association of Realtors contract. So it's different than the state.
But it's been approved.
Yes, it is approved. We are an attorney closing state and it is approved by attorneys, so that boilerplate's going to stay the same.
Yeah.
So if someone is wanting to write an offer, we're not having to run it by the attorney until we've got that executed.
Yes.
So now there is a section 6 in there and we have some language we can write in, and if we're going to write something in, we do want that approved by the attorneys ahead of time.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in just a second. But let's talk just kind of the basics. I mean, starting with your name.
Right. So the name, I mean, they can choose, they can have one name, two name, they can do an LLC. Usually they use what's on their driver's license.
Okay, but it's kind of just how you want it to be on title.
Yes, on title. Yes,
Okay.
we have the name, and then we're going to have the what our offer price is going to be, and that's going to be our negotiation. We're going to try to figure out, do we start low, move up? That's going to be between the buyer and I. We're going to really have a conversation.
Well, and it's going to be interesting too if it's a cash offer or if they're going to go through a lender, because those are two different discussions.
Yes. So if it's a loan, I'm going to have a conversation with the lender because I want to know, is it a 30-year loan, and what amount are they going to want to have and borrow? And then we're going to talk through contingency days, and that's important. How many financing contingency days?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then section 4 on this contract is really important because section 4 is where it's going to state if it's furnished or not. And as you know, we have beach houses and some of them are totally furnished.
Right.
So we can put that, or we might maybe do a bill of sale, but we want to know there, like the refrigerator, washer, dryer, all those things. Typically here those stay, but we want to mark them. And if you've walked around and you saw a refrigerator in the garage, and we got to make sure we write that in.
Right.
And there might be something in the backyard you don't want. What if there's a hot tub and you say, please say in there that we want that gone.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that.
And so that's all from the buyer side, things that you might be asking for
Yes.
to either keep or remove.
Yes.
And as you say down here, lots of times it is sold furnished. But
Right.
what about from the seller side? What do they need to write in?
On the seller, if you know like your irrigation system, only part of it works, you're going to want to write in there, we're going to put in sold as is, because we don't want to then have to make that repair.
Right.
So we do write that in. And then section 6, as I stated, that's the section where we can write things in, and we will have an attorney approved sentence, for example, maybe as is, and with the right to terminate at your sole discretion, that. Section 17 is also unusual in our contract because it's got the tidelands information, if it's an oceanfront, or if it's pre-1978 and needs lead paint, or we have the Vacation Rental Act. And so if it is a rental, we have to make sure that the buyer knows they have to honor 90 days of rentals. So we've got that.
All right. So if they have to honor those that are already on the books for 90 days, they can then take it off if they want to.
Right. They can do that. So then, of course, the same things, closing date and all of those. But there's one little box in there that's important too. We have some of these communities with huge transfer fees, like it's basically like a country club membership.
Okay.
There's a little box there that you want to make sure that your purchaser understands that the purchaser is most likely going to have to pay those fees, and we want to discuss those fees.
Yeah.
And we don't want and if I'm on the seller side, I want to make sure it doesn't say seller on there, and they're trying to pull that over on us.
Right, trying to make them pay those transfer fees.
Yeah.
So all of this to say that there are so many things going on, so many details that I'm not sure how a person without somebody like you would be able to really navigate that.
Absolutely. You need someone with experience. There's so many things. Just like window treatments, you need to make sure they know, does that include the blinds and the curtains and the this? There's a lot of things that we want to discuss as we're writing this offer.
Right.
And so we're going to do that.
And let's talk about last 30 seconds. You mentioned obviously the price that you're going to be offering. Tell me a little bit about your expertise in knowing what that offer should be.
So I do have a lot of conversations with the other realtor. I want to know, if I have the buyer, What are some of their hot buttons? Do they want to maybe have a post-close occupancy? There's a place in the contract there that we can put in an addendum that states they have a post-close occupancy so many days. We want to figure out what's important to the seller. And then two, I need to know what's important to my buyer. It may be more about convenience instead of price. We'll see.
Yeah, well, so many details, very interesting. Thank you for sharing all that with us today.
Absolutely.